Hi guys, and welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel dedicated to you, the trader. We want you to be successful in the markets. So guys, I'm going to give you some gold every day. I'm going to let you know which currency pairs I'm looking to trade and which direction. And I'm also going to let you know which news that you must be aware of. So let's take a look at the chart and what I'm potentially going to trade today. Good morning traders, welcome back to Simply Forex. Coming to you live from the Philippines, very beautiful country. It's a little bit windy, as you could probably hear as well. But guys, that's the beauty of trading. You can literally do it from anywhere in the world as long as you've got an internet connection. I'm here for a couple of weeks guys, but yeah, don't worry, I'll be doing the daily morning analysis every single morning as usual. So let's take a look at the charts for today. Good morning traders, how are you? I hope you are well. Today is Thursday, the 20th of October, guys. And as always, we're going to look back at yesterday's trades. We're also going to look at a few techniques that I used yesterday to trade our currency pairs. We're going to look at today's potential trades and the important news for today as well. Guys, you will not believe how early I am up this morning because we're going to a different part of the Philippines today. Very nice. Guys, what else I've got to say before I show you the recap? Yes, we've got a Discord channel. Please come and join the Discord channel. The link is in the comments below the vid. Next Wednesday, guys, our live streams are going to be back. Woohoo! Missed the live stream. So we're going to do those again starting next Wednesday. Get your questions ready. And if you would like to be mentored by myself, guys, then please email hello simplyforex@gmail.com. All right, guys. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's start with yesterday's trades. And we had two potential trades, guys. Yeah, and I'm going to show you a couple of techniques on how I trade them. I have a bug crawling up my arm. The Philippines, loads of wildlife. Right, Euro US dollar. So guys, we were all seeing this trade on the Discord channel. Yeah, come join it, guys. We was all looking at this trade together. So it was a trade idea yesterday. And if you remember, this grey zone here was the all-important grey zone. Okay, the reasons for that are as follows. So price was in this downward structure, bouncing off of this diagonal channel. Okay, and then price came back up into this area where we were interested. But as you can see, it was using this diagonal grey line as resistance. A downward channel, guys. All right, and price and the structure is clearly in a downtrend as well. Okay. Then we was also seeing these last lows from over here. All of these last lows proved to be a good area of what was once support. Once it hit here, became a good area of resistance. So we had a diagonal channel downwards and we had this area of resistance. So it made this area here, yeah, an important area for this pair. Okay, and then sure enough, we've had a reaction at that grey zone. If we drop down to the H1 chart, guys, if you remember rightly, we were basically, myself and the whole of Discord, we were waiting for a breakdown in the H1 structure. Okay, and I drew this second grey line here, if you remember, because obviously it was once support. And then here it was once resistance. So it was quite an important level. And you can see it reacted here as well. Okay, but I'll show you that shortly. So guys, myself and all you guys on Discord, and get my teeth in, it's very early. All the traders on Discord, we were all waiting in anticipation for this H1 structure break. Okay, and then as you can see, guys, yeah, we eventually got it with this candle here. Okay, so I traded off of this candle. Okay, so if you remember rightly, guys, how I trade these very large bearish or bullish, but this very large bearish entry candle is as follows. So what I do, guys, if let's say, for example, my normal trade size is 100k lot. Okay. All right. So that's my normal trade size. Yeah. What I would do on the close of this candle, I will enter 50. Bear with me, guys, drawing with this pen. I know I tell you this every day, but it's not easy. I would enter at the close of the entry candle, I would close half my normal lot size, which is 50k. Okay, so I entered here for 50k, and then once I got this retrace up to here, yeah, up to the grey zone, I entered, it was just a little bit before the grey zone, yeah, I entered my second 50k lot. That barely looks like a 50, but you know what I mean. Okay, so this is how I trade, guys. It's a good little technique to trade on a very large entry candle. As you can see, this was a large entry candle, and I imagine a lot of you are thinking, have I missed a trade? Can we get in on it? Will it retrace? Won't it retrace? Well, this is a good technique to use if it doesn't retrace. Yeah, if this didn't retrace, I wouldn't enter another 50k. But as it did, I did. But if it didn't retrace, we are still in this trade. We still have some money in the trade, but half our lot size. Okay, but in this example, we got the retrace, so I was able to enter the full 100k. And what I've done so far, guys, is once this 50k drops back down to this last low, I have closed 50k at these last lows because it was close enough to my first target anyway, guys. Okay, so I've closed 50k and I'm still in this trade for 50k. Okay, if it gets back down to this blue line, I might close 30%, yeah, maybe even 20% of the remaining 50k. All right, and then let some run down further to potentially our second blue higher time frame target, this 9700. Okay, guys, what I do with these large entry candles, I usually put my stop above the entry candle, because if you imagine, if price came shooting back up and engulfed this red candle, you should be getting out of this trade anyway. Yeah, price has not reacted how you wanted it to. So, guys, yeah, I am still have my stop loss here. Okay, but as you know, guys, I only have 50k of my usual, or half of my usual lot size currently running. All right, guys, so that was how I traded the euro US dollar, but I would love to hear how you traded it. Maybe what techniques you use. Leave a comment in the Discord channel, or leave a comment below the vid, guys. Yeah, how did you trade this breakout? All right, guys, but that was euro US dollar. So far so good. We've closed some profit on this pair. The next trade I did from yesterday was this. It was the Aussie dollar against the Canadian dollar. Okay, and it was yeah, we were looking for shorts, and the reason for that were as follows. So price was in a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then price had came up and find this area of resistance here. It reacted once with this large red candle, and then what I wanted to see yesterday was a breakdown in this grey zone of H1 structure. Okay, and then we could take price lower. And as you can see, guys, yeah, if I take away all my pink drawing, that's what happened when we've got a very bearish reaction there. Okay, at this grey zone, which has been holding as resistance. Okay, but let's look on the H1, guys, to see if we actually had a trade and how we could trade it. And if you remember rightly, guys, I had two scenarios that I could trade. Okay, and they were this. So basically, guys, we wanted a H1 structure breakdown, and there's two ways we could have traded this. So as you can see, this grey diagonal line, yeah, I won't do it all the way because I cannot draw accurately. But this grey diagonal channel was a good area of resistance, yeah? Used this channel many times, yeah, as a good level of support, sorry, yeah? And then when price breaks this channel, we can enter on the break, or we could enter on a break of this grey zone, yeah, because we still have this, okay? Myself, guys, how I traded it was with this candle here. So as soon as I got this large bearish candle that broke out of this diagonal channel, yeah, I was looking for shorts. Yeah, this H1 candle is very strong, very bearish. There's very little wick at the bottom. Yeah, it told me sellers were in control. So I actually entered on this candle. Okay. Another good technique, guys, yeah, is once we get our large entry candle, okay, we can then drop down to the M15 chart to really refine our entry, okay? So this is another little technique that I use. So we've seen our H1 entry candle. It was, for me, it was this, yeah, because it broke this diagonal channel. Okay, H1 structure was changing. And then I dropped down to the M15 chart. Okay, and I look to refine my my entry. Okay, so what you were seeing, guys, was this. This was the H1 candle here. Okay, that we saw on the H1 chart. These four candles were the H1 candle, and then basically, guys, I'm looking for a retrace into a logical level on the M15. Okay, and if you see this zone here, yeah, it was once resistance here, and then when it broke, it becomes support. Okay, so this this pink level here becomes an interesting level for me. Okay, so I'm not waiting for a reaction at this level, really. I'm just waiting for price to get towards this level. Okay, so as soon as it does, I will enter here, which is exactly what I did. Okay, I entered around here, and yeah, for 100% of my trade. Okay, and I put my stop above the last swing high on the H1. All right, but just a little technique we can use here, guys. Get your entry candle, the H1 entry candle. You're like, great, I have my candle. And then drop down to the M15 to really refine your entry. Okay, so if we go back to the H1 chart now, like I say, this was my entry candle, but I got a nice retrace up to around here. Okay, it was even on, yeah, around here. Okay, so I got a nice retrace to here. Okay, entered 100% of my trade size, put my stop above here. Okay, so this is my risk, guys. Okay, so this was my risk, and then as price come tumbling down, to be honest with you guys, I was a little concerned about this green candle bouncing off of this grey zone, because we did pinpoint this as an area of support. But then I just sort of waited and see. I looked at M15 structure and the H1 candles and see what the next candles are telling me. And then we got a bit of indecision. The M15 structure held, and then we ended up getting this candle as well. And this gave me the confidence to just keep in this trade and let it run. Okay, and then once we got down to the bottom of this grey zone, yeah, which corresponded with this low here, once we got down to around the bottom here, I closed 80% of my trade. Okay, so that the above arrows were my risk, and then this was my reward, guys. It's nice when you get rewards in terms of profit on a trade. Yeah, so this is my risk, this is my reward. It was a little bit over, it was about 1 to 1.5 risk to reward. So once I got that, guys, I closed 80% at this level. Okay, and then I was still in this trade for 20%. And then I'm looking for price action, guys, to where I can move my stop loss. So remember, my stop loss is still here, but it's only for 20% of my trade now, okay, because I closed 80% here, all right? And then once I see this reaction here, and then a push back down lower, I can then move my stop loss. It's only moving it a little bit, but I can move my stop loss to here. This will be my new stop loss. And as I've explained many times before, as price action forms, I may move my stop loss down with the last swing highs. Okay, but we'll see what happens today. So I still think this trade has a bit of room to the downside. Okay, if you were looking at this trade yourself, guys, I mean, like I say, I entered on this candle. But if you were looking at this trade, this was a good candle to enter on. Okay, bearing in mind you still have to put your stop above the last swing high. If you got you could still get your risk to reward down here. Okay, potentially this candle, but then again, this candle, your risk starts becoming too much, and there's no value in the trade. So this is not a candle. This one here is because you can still manage the risk to reward. This one isn't, because the risk to reward, there's no value. Okay, so yeah, this entry candle here was also a possibility, and it give you a little bit of a retrace potentially. But again, guys, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, good trade. Yeah, we've made some money. We're still in it for 20%. So yeah, a real profitable day yesterday. But again, guys, if you entered any of my trade ideas, please let me know how you traded them, or if you traded your own trades. It's still interesting to hear from you guys and how you analyze the markets. And I hope you had a couple of techniques you could use with entering on the H1 and M15. All right, guys, so that's yesterday's trades. We've looked at them. Let's take a look at today's trades now. So guys, two trades from yesterday, both profitable. This is how we like it. Yeah, so we looked at both those trades in the recap, guys, and we also looked at how to refine your entry on the H1 using the M15. So if you enjoyed the recap and that small tutorial, then please come join us. Yes, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and also smash that like button, guys. Help support the channel. Thank you. Today, guys, we've got one trade idea. It was potentially three, but it's only one trade idea, and I'm going to show you why it's only one trade idea. Okay, but before I do, I always think, what was my editor telling me? He would tell me to mention we have a Discord channel, guys. We've got a Discord channel. The link is in the comments below this video, so please come join that. Loads of great traders in there sharing their ideas, guys. All right, so join the Discord channel. Also, guys, next Wednesday we're going to start the live streams again. So 6:30 London GMT, we'll have a live stream to get all your questions ready for that session. And finally, if you'd like to be mentored by myself, then please email hello simplyforex@gmail.com. Okay, let's look at the trades for today, guys. So the trade idea for today is Aussie dollar against the Swiss franc. Okay, so we're looking for another one of these trades where it hits our grey zone and we want to see a reaction. Okay, so this is the day chart, guys, and as you can see, price is clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then this grey zone here, yeah, which also corresponds with this last low. If I make it a pink zone, okay, so yeah, we've got these lows here, and then we got this high here, this new high where it reacted. All right, so structurally we're in a downtrend. Okay, and then yeah, like I say, we've already had this very bearish daily candle bounce off of this zone, which corresponds with these last lows here. Okay, and now price has come up again. We've seen a bit of a reaction in terms of this wick. Okay, so we're looking for shorts on this pair, perhaps down to this blue line. But again, guys, we're looking for a H1 structure break. Okay, so remember, guys, the day chart, this is our Y. So for these reasons, guys, this is why I am shorting this pair. Okay, it's in a downtrend, and we've had a reaction at our grey zone. Then, guys, we're going to drop down to the H1 chart, and this is our how. How are we going to trade this? All right, so yeah, this is our grey zone up here, yeah, which you can see which was on the daily chart. But this is now the H1 chart. And for me, guys, this H1 structure hasn't quite broke. If these were the last, well, these are the last lows on the H1, these two here, and it's just held. Yeah, it's just held, and then this is closed back in that candle. We've had this green candle. So for me, this is holding, just. Okay? So what I would need to see, guys, is a break of these lows. These lows, these lows. I would need to see a break of these lows. Okay? Then a retest, and then we can enter the trade short. Okay? And then we want to take price potentially back down to this blue line. Remember, guys, once I get my risk to reward, wherever it may be, here, I close my trade for 80%. I lock in that profit. Yeah, it's a psychological thing for me, guys. It's massively helped my trading. I secure some profit, and then I can happily let the remaining 20% run. Okay, I'm able to do that trading this 80-20 rule. All right, guys, so yeah, we want to see that happen. Breakdown in H1 structure. Let's for a minute imagine that this holds. Okay, it hasn't broke yet. Yeah, the H1 candle currently forming hasn't broke yet. Okay, so let's imagine price comes back up to these last highs. Okay, if it holds and comes back up to these last H1 highs, obviously we haven't seen a H1 structure break. But if you want to be very aggressive with the trade, you could trade, yeah, a bearish candlestick pattern here, okay, and then take price lower from here. Yeah. For me, I like to see a H1 structure, but I know traders who like to get in as early as possible. And by getting in at this last high, you're doing that. You're getting in as early as possible, at the best price possible. Okay, but I don't like to get early to the race. I like to just be in the correct race, if you like. Apologies for my analogies. Okay, but that's what we're looking for, guys. Either a breakdown in H1 structure for me, or we can trade these last highs lower if we're being particularly aggressive. All right, so Aussie dollar, Swiss franc, this is the trade idea for today, and yeah, we're looking for shorts. I was also looking at Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, guys, and this is still the same trade as Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, we've got this grey zone, as you can see on the day chart. Yeah, it came down, it acted as support here, it jumped back off, and then it's broke this zone. It's then acted as resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and we're here again, guys. We're here at this level again. Okay, if price was to break this grey zone, as with the Aussie dollar, Swiss franc, not interested. We basically had a daily structure break. Okay, but if this grey zone holds, yeah, which it has done many times, then we could come shorter. So we could include Canadian dollar, Swiss franc in our trade ideas, but look at this daily candle. You remember how I talked to you guys about we need to see how price approaches our grey zones. What are the candlesticks telling you as it approaches our grey zones, our support and resistance zones, our buy sell areas, whatever you want to call them. I call them grey zones because they're grey, just in case you wasn't sure. But once we want to see how price is reacting into that grey zone. And as you can see, guys, if we look at the Canadian dollar Swiss franc, look at this candle, okay, going into our grey zone. And then if we look at the Aussie dollar Swiss franc, let's go back to the day chart on the Aussie dollar Swiss franc. And then take a look at this candle going into the grey zone. Yeah, which one would you rather trade? Yeah, you would rather trade this candle. Yeah, it's less bullish, got a larger wick. Okay, and then if we go back to the CAD, Canadian dollar Swiss franc, yeah, look at this candle, very bullish, very little wick. Okay, so that's what I talk about when I look at 28 currency pairs, and then I narrow it down to just one or two pairs, guys. So I would even narrow this down to one pair, Aussie dollar Swiss franc, because of this bullish candle going into our grey zone on Canadian dollar Swiss franc. Okay, but if you did want to trade it, again, we're just going to look for a breakdown in H1 structure. So yeah, as you can see, it's in an upward structure. Okay, this is the H1 chart. So if we start getting breaks of perhaps this low here, yeah, retest, and then we can take price lower. Okay, so that's Canadian dollar Swiss franc. But yeah, like I say, guys, Aussie dollar Swiss franc is the trade of the day because it's a better setup. And another one I was looking at, guys, just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at from day to day and how I'm analysing the markets. So this one, guys, again, is similar to Aussie dollar Swiss franc. Yeah, price is in a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then prices come back up and tested these last highs again. So we're in one of our grey zones and we want to see a H1 structure breakdown. Okay, so looking at this chart, looking good. Yeah, we've got a bearish doji candle. Okay, so we could take price lower once we get a H1 structure break. Okay, so this is another potential trade for today, but I still prefer the Aussie dollar Swiss franc trade. So again, a very similar scenario, in a downtrend, entering our grey zone. Let's drop down to the H1 chart to see what's happening. And again, for me, we've already had a structure break. Okay, so if we were just looking at the H1 chart, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Well, not a higher high. Yeah, lower low, not a higher high. And remember, guys, if we're not getting higher highs, what does that tell us? You should all be screaming at the chart. You should all be screaming at the screen that it is a possible breakdown in structure. Yeah, if we don't get higher highs, we're potentially seeing a breakdown in structure. And then, sure enough, these lows here, yeah, get broken. Yeah, with this candle here. So H1 structure for me is already in a downtrend, so we could potentially trade this now. Okay, you could potentially, this area here would be a good entry. Yeah, or even back up to these highs would be a good entry. Yeah, to come short or to come short. Okay, so you're probably thinking, Tom, why don't you like this trade? What is wrong with you? And for me, like I say, guys, you need to be aware of what's going on all the different time frames. And for me, it's the H4 chart that I don't like. So if we go to the H4 chart now, yeah, I just look at this upward trajectory, okay? And then look at this very bullish H4 candle. Admittedly, price is breaking down, and it is breaking down on the H1 as well. But, you know, for us to start selling here, we just have all this buying pressure here. This is a good area to potentially look for longs, yeah, back up into this zone. So for me, we don't have much room to move into before we get this potential buying zone here that I'm highlighting with the pink pen. Yeah, so the H4 chart puts me off of this trade. Okay, so just to reiterate, guys, Aussie dollar Swiss franc is the trade idea for today. You could trade the Canadian Swiss franc short. You could trade the Aussie dollar Japanese yen short. But for the last two pairs, I'll give you reasons why I'm not 100%. Well, not 100%, but why it's not as good a trade as Aussie dollar Swiss franc. All right, guys. So Aussie dollar Swiss franc is the short is the trade for today. Okay, guys. So that's the trade idea. Let's take a look at the news now. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this daily morning analysis. If you are, brilliant. Please come join us. Subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and also smash the like button, guys. Help support the channel. Right, news for Thursday, the 20th of October. So if you're trading the Tokyo session, we've got some big data coming out in the form of, first of all, at 1:30 coming out of Australia, got the employment change. So this is a big piece of news for the Aussie dollar. So this could move any Aussie dollar pair. At 2:15 London GMT, we've got a 3-star rating coming out of China, the loan prime rate. This could probably move, again, any Aussie dollar pair because they have close trading relations. If we carry on down, at 11 o'clock London GMT, we've got the EU Leaders Summit. So some of the speakers and what they say from the summit could affect the euro, so must be aware of that. At 1:30, we've got two pieces of 3-star ratings coming out of the US. So we've got initial jobless claims and the Philly Fed manufacturing. So 2 3-star ratings really start moving the US dollar. If we carry on down, guys, the last piece of news that we're interested in today is this. At 3 o'clock London GMT, we've got existing home sales coming out of the US. So again, could move any US dollar pair. If we scroll down, guys, as you can see, no other news that we're interested in. All right, guys, so that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the vid. If you have, please subscribe, like, and share. I hope you have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys.